Oh, 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 is this for real? I mean, here we go. Ben Simmons, this clown. Ben Simmons, this fraud. Ben Simmons, the loser. Ben Simmons is a joke. Ben Simmons is an embarrassment. James Harden to the Sixers. Here we go. Wow, this is incredible. Wow. And to think there were people out there that honestly thought it would be a good idea. I want Tyrese Halliburton. I want Buddy Hield. Right? I mean, there were people every single day who sat right here in this chat every morning on Coffee with Bros. Do you know what I want? I want Harrison Barnes, and you're never going to get anyone good. Why do you think that you should sit out for James Harden? This is why. Right here. This is why you wait for James Harden, because you have him, and you're pairing him up with Joel Embiid. Now, I don't know at the end of the day if this is going to automatically win you a championship. But here's what I do know. It puts you in a fantastic position to ball out. And there's a reason why Doc Rivers canceled practice today. When you saw the news that people are human, there's a lot of speculation, there's a lot of trash happening out there in terms of reports, this and that. I'm just going to cancel things down because there's a human element here. Yeah, all right, we know everything we need to know, Doc. We know literally everything we need to know. I mean, for real. Just incredible. All around, you know what I mean? Like, this is outrageous. Now, no Seth Curry, no Andre Drummond, but you bring back a Paul Millsap in return. You keep your defense. For everyone who was so worried about defense and you want to stick with Matisse Thybulle because you don't want to lose that perimeter D. Okay, now I would tell you I'd rather trade Matisse and keep a Seth Curry. That's my personal opinion, thinking about this run. But I will admit that I'm okay with either or. None of this is going to bother me. None of this is going to break my heart. It's just something to, something to think about is I'll take that professional spacing out of Seth Curry over Matisse Thybulle's defense, but I'm not going to cry about it. That won't be the holdup for me. None of that's going to piss me off so much that I'll lose breath and I'll lose any sort of air and my face turns red. Quite frankly, I don't care. Just let's get James Harden into town. Give me a reasonable trade, and then let's pursue. You know what I mean? Ben Simmons is a loser. This guy's a clown. I can't wait to think about the next time he shows his face in this fucking city. If he ever does. If he ever does. Wow. I mean, this is just awesome. This is just tremendous. Now, look, I figured let's just kick it for a little bit. We're going to do a podcast tonight. We're going to rock some anytime hotline calls. I mean, this is going nowhere. Trust me. 9 billion% of my energy is involved in this bad boy. But I just figured we'd kick it for a little bit here. We just kick back, hang out for a little bit. Oh, someone literally just said, mathematically speaking, we lost the trick. Come on now. We could have traded Ben for one of the mentioned. Oh my God, for real. Come on, Connor. Now, Connor tweeted at me, Connor M, and said, because I tweeted this out, this is exactly why Daryl Morey shouldn't have traded Ben for just anyone. Colin Sexton, Tyrese Halliburton, and the list went on and on, ... And then he responded and said, except we could have traded Ben for one of those players and then signed Harden in the offseason anyway. Mathematically, we lost this trade. Now, with all due respect, Connor, if that's your thought process and that's honestly how you feel, come on now. I mean, we're better than that, right? We're better than that, don't you think? That's a loser mentality. Now it's like, yeah, but we could have James Harden and Damian Lillard and Joel Embiid and this guy and that guy. At some point, we got to be realistic. You don't just forget about this opportunity. Say screw it. I'll trade Ben for Tyrese Halliburton and then worry about the James Harden acquisition in the offseason. How could you possibly do that? That's bad. That's bad. Now, I mean, technically, we could take phone calls. Hold on a second. Let me grab my earphones here. We can share the excitement level if you guys are interested. We could dabble around a little bit here. You guys let me know. Are you interested in calling in? I mean, I know I do the anytime hotline, but we can do that live, you know. We can take calls as well live. That is a thing. Yo, what's going on?
Oh, bro, oh my God, I'm over the moon, man. I just finished a workout and just on my walk trying to cool off, and this news has made me want to do another workout now, man. I'm so pumped.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't believe it.
Can I pick Ben Simmons, right? You're telling me this
Yeah.
guy, he's going to come into town after this? Like, there were people who were afraid to trade him to the Nets. Do you think he'll ever show his face in this city again?
Oh, my God. You know what? I hope so, because if one thing the fans deserve is to boo Ben Simmons, all right? We've put up with this for how many years? We deserve to boo Ben Simmons, all right? He better not run scared. Oh, he got his wish, all right? He's on a great team. He's got Kyrie Irving part-time. He's got Kevin Durant. Come on, Simmons, let's go. And we got everything we need. I'm calling it right now. Championship or bust.
Wow.
Championship or bust.
All right. Championship or bust. Thanks, bro. I appreciate you taking the time to call in. Look, I get it right now. I remember if you go back to my Jimmy Butler reaction, we're screaming, we're getting all pumped up, we're all fired up and all. And look, I mean, I don't know if we're at that. We're there because we're excited for sure, but I'm just saying, let's breathe a little bit, right? There's a lot of good teams out there, but we definitely have another call coming in. Yo, what's going on? Yo.
Hey, Rose, can you hear me?
Yes, I got you. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you, man. I'm talking to you and watching you live right now, man.
Well, I appreciate that. How you feel right now? Let me know. Let me feel some energy from you. How do you stand right now after you just saw the news?
Bro, I put in an early day of work and I'm done because I need to go and freaking yell, jump around, do whatever, man. Ben Simmons is gone, bro.
Isn't it amazing?
So hyped right now.
You know what bothers me? You know what bothers me real quickly is there's some reaction here because I'm getting another tweet that says, as much as we dislike Simmons, damn, this Nets team is so much better. And it's like, what are we doing here? We have Joel Embiid who's playing at an MVP level, and then we just brought in someone who you can make the argument that his scoring is down. It's not an argument, it's a real thing, but he averages 10 assists. We got someone who can actually pass the ball.
I know, and the cool thing about this is about that. Look, I can't even talk because I'm so excited, man. The cool thing about this is that we get Harden, we got Embiid, we keep Maxey, okay, we keep Thibault because people wanted that perimeter defense, and Harris gets if we can get him back to form, man. Your starting five is going to be legit, dude. That last caller nailed it, man. Championship or bust, dude.
Championship or bust.
Let's up and go, bro.
Before I let you go, I need to ask you this question because I'll be honest with you. If it came down to keeping Seth or keeping Matisse, I'd rather personally have Seth due to the professional spacing that's involved. Even though you lose some defense there, I'll take that sacrifice. I'm not mad that we're in this spot now. Don't get me wrong. It really is a win-win no matter who you pass along in this deal to acquire James Harden. But I would have rather had Seth than Matisse. What say you?
No, you know what? I would have kept Seth Curry, honestly, but I just think that the trade, we're trading offense for defense.
Right.
That's how I was looking at it. And we know that Matisse can't shoot. He can shoot, but he just hasn't shot the ball all that much. And Seth Curry, yes, he's had to learn back issue, but I mean, the guy's freaking shoot threes like crazy. He's 40% from the three. So, I mean, in all honesty, I would have kept Seth Curry. But you know what? A trade's a trade, a deal's a deal. and you're going to get the best player to play with Embiid, your two-man squad.
Amazing.
And dude, this is freaking awesome.
It's amazing, man. It's amazing. Thank you so much for calling in for sure. Now let's go to Seth Curry's stats and what he's averaging right now from three. And let me pull up this real quickly. Thank you so much, Pags. You're a beauty, my friend. Thank you so much for the $10 donation. He is shooting 40% from three this year, 43.7% in his full-on career. It's incredible. I really can't sit here. I'm almost sort of in awe, and I'm somewhat just a little bit in a scenario where I can't comprehend this fully. And that's why I thought it would be fun to just kind of kick and get our natural reactions while we kind of see the news continue to break in. We have another call coming in. Yo, what's going on? Oh, you're going to have to, real quick, I'll put you on mute. You're going to have to mute the YouTube stream, and then you're going to have to talk on your phone or whoever you're calling because there's going to be a delay just to let everybody know who is calling in. We'll try this again, though. Yo, what's going on?
Yo, what's up, bro?
What's happening, man? What's going on? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling great. I'll kick you with a little story real quick. So,
okay, hit me.
I'm not much of a runner. However, I was in my living room when I got the news. You would not believe the track star I turned into when I bolted to my room to rip down my Ben Simmons poster. Finally.
Whoa. You had your Ben Simmons poster still up?
Yeah. I know.
Dude.
It was like part of I don't know, my own weird thing here, but yeah, it's finally down, and oh my goodness, I am so excited.
That's a violation. You know, I have a man cave here in my place, and I remember right from the jump, there's actually two. I never refilled up the wall yet, but there's a huge spot gone due to Carson Wentz, and there's a huge spot gone due to Ben Simmons, and I'll sacrifice the aesthetic pleasing of walking down the basement and seeing that stuff up for, like, these frauds don't deserve our time or our wall space.
Well, you do also have to realize, I mean, it's not like it was sitting there pristine. It definitely got some graffiti going on over the past couple months, too.
That's amazing. You know what? I get it. We're so stoked about James Harden being here, but I can't lose sight of this Ben Simmons thing. And this dude, everything he just went through, the fact that, and I'm not happy that he gets an opportunity to compete for a title in theory, but the fact that he went to, one, another market that's going to rip him apart, and then two, he's going to have to see the 76ers. There's no running away from this thing. And that almost intrigues me even more, that this loser has to seriously come into this town unless they do the whole Kyrie Irving Boston thing, which is whenever the Sixers are scheduled to play one another, you know, he has a tweaked hammy or something.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I really doubt that Ben will be playing in Philly anytime soon, within at least the next year or two, but one can dream, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks so much, man. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you when you calling in. Chris is coming in with a $5 donation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I just want to be clear here that someone just mentioned here, y'all keep the same energy when the Nets put us out. First off, I don't know how you feel that way right now, right? Like you're better now than you were before. So, you know, if they were going to put us out to begin with, Da Vinci, I don't understand why you would be upset now. You're definitely closer. This doesn't guarantee a championship. This doesn't, especially for this back half of the season. Daryl Morey is going to be able to put his fingerprints on some other things as well, especially in the offseason and all. But, you know, this doesn't guarantee a chip. It puts you in the best position possible to do something, though, and that's all you can ask for as a fan. So I don't understand this level of viewers, like this way that is being viewed, or the way it's being viewed by someone like Da Vinci here in the chat, because that's kind of happening all throughout. Let's go back to the phones, though. Yo, what's going on?
Yo,
what's happening, bro?
Yo, what's up, bro? It's calling in from Atlanta. Wow. This is crazy.
It is.
It's crazy.
It's super exciting. You know, all day long we woke up anxious, nervous, in a good way though, because we knew something large could happen and change the trajectory here and the excitement level. But isn't it awesome to be in that like, I get it. You got nervous, you're excited, you're scared, there's fear, right? There's like so many different emotions, but not everyone gets to experience that around this time of the year. And Joel Embiid put us in that spot. Joel himself was the reason why we were able to feel this way.
Yes, completely. Like the 76ers are really showtime now. It's really showtime in 76ers land. Like it honestly, I kind of agree with the other callers saying that it's championship or bust this year. But I mean, with the acquisition of James Harden, you guys have such a bright future, like, and a foundation. I'm so excited to finally see Embiid play with like a real point guard.
I love it. You're
'Cause I
so
feel
right.
like- yeah, like I feel like Ben could distribute the ball, but he fucked up the spacing so much. So now with Harden's shooting ability, I feel like Embiid's game's gotta go to a whole nother level. Like
No,
the 76ers are a must-watch TV.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. Thank you so much for taking the time to call in. Oh, no doubt about it. And you also have to factor in as well here that yes, there's something to be said about like championship or bust and that phrase in general. But let's not lose sight here of the bigger picture, and that's the fact that James Harden ain't going anywhere. Daryl Morey and his relationship, yeah, this year it's like, and not even just this year, but in general, yes, with James Harden and Joel Embiid, you're all about winning a championship, and that should be the mindset. But there's more to it than just this season. It's not just, hey, you got about 30 games left to go play, and let's go see if we win a title, and then if we don't, it's Kawhi Leonard leaving and going to the LA Clippers here, right? It's not that level of a level of a risk, if you will, like Toronto went through that ended up paying off for them. But this is a very well calculated risk that I'm 1,000% going to take a shot on any single day of the week. You'd be a fool not to. It's amazing. I don't get why anyone wouldn't be happy or stoked. Whether it ends up in it or not, it's like you put your organization, you traded Ben Simmons, right? Let's think about this. You traded Ben Simmons, the guy who doesn't shoot a damn basketball, and got James Harden in return. Now, sure, a couple draft picks went their way, and you lost Seth Curry, which is Doc Rivers' son-in-law, which is crazy. But here you have it. You traded him for James Harden. How could you ever not be stoked about this? It's incredible. Let's get back to the phones. Yeah, what's going on?
Yo, bro.
Yo, what's happening?
Not much. You're my favorite YouTuber to watch.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you. How are you feeling right now?
Like Ben should have been out of here a long time ago.
Yeah, yes, but this is why you don't do what everybody wanted Daryl Morey to do, which is just get rid of him for anyone, because you get James Harden.
Exactly, but the sad thing is, I just bought I got Seth Curry just because now he's completely gone.
Man, I am so sorry to hear that. But guess what? You know what? If they win this championship, or if they ever do between this duo, you look back and say, I'll sacrifice a jersey for a beautiful, beautiful parade down Broad Street.
Exactly, and it was the city jersey I just got, too.
I do like those jerseys are fresh. You know, there were jerseys the other year that, I like the Boathouse Row one as well, but do you remember those cream ones that had the bell on them? Was it that?
Yes.
No, sorry. I didn't like that one. It was cream that had like filler in cursive.
It was the Richardson year.
Was it the Richardson, the Jimmy Butler year? I forget which one it was, but regardless.
Richardson, Horford.
Yes, maybe it was. You know what though? Forget the jersey. You can replace that. What's going to be awesome is this team. Think about these next upcoming games. This is going to be beautiful.
Exactly, and I'm going tomorrow night too, so hopefully he'll play.
Oh, that's outstanding. Thank you so much for taking the time to call in. Oh, go into the game. Look, let's throw this in there. If you're looking to go to the game, okay, and you see an opportunity, you might as well do this. Go to SeatGeek. Use promo code Broads at checkout. Get $20 off your purchase. It's a no-brainer, some would say. Get yourself to a game today. I don't know. Just saying. Just spitballing here. Just, letting you know the goods. What else is good? Incredible. It really is. It really is tremendous what we're experiencing right now. And just embrace this feeling. You know what I mean? Just embrace it. It doesn't come around often. You know how many people in clown, this is terrible. No one's ever going to want to be here. Who wants Ben Simmons? Who wants Ben Simmons? Okay. I tried telling everyone, relax. It's the NBA. This is how it works. And first off, he's going to a team that already has their superstar talent. So that plays a role as well. There's so many parts to this that people just left out, right? There's so many variables on how this whole thing works. There's people who are small market and they can't find players to come to them in free agency, and they're not landing them in the draft. So let's acquire a Ben Simmons that has time left on his contract. That's one. There's bad GMs that make just bad decisions. That's number two. You know, I touched on number three already, which is just you already have superstar talent. You're not asking Ben Simmons to be a number two man. You have Kyrie and you have Kevin Durant. He's got his own little role here, which whatever, it is what it is. Screw him. I don't give a damn. But just in terms of you'll never get anyone for Ben. You'll never find a way to trade. Oh, yes, you will, because there's a lot of variables on why Ben Simmons would be in a trade compared to something else here. Right? It's not just as simple as, oh, he's going to be our number one guy and we're utilizing Ben to be that. No, that's not the only reason why someone would trade for him. And by the way, when stars are unhappy, ding, 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 this is what happens. Dame would have been traded if he wanted out of Portland. He just doesn't. James Harden wants out, he gets traded. Do you see the difference in leverage, though, compared to Daryl Morey and the others? Anthony Davis, look at his contract at the time in New Orleans. James Harden, look at his contract now. And look where Ben Simmons was. It's a methodical approach. Daryl Morey's a genius. I'm so glad that a lot of the people in Sixers fandom who thinks that they could be a good GM weren't making the decision. Incredible. All right, we'll rock right back to the Anytime Hotline. Get our instant reactions here. Yo, what's happening?
Yo, what's up, bros?
What's going on, dude? We're pumped up. I need a call. I need another coffee.
I'm fired the fuck up right now.
Yeah.
I just walked out of work. So I was at work, and I just got the tweet from Woj. And then, of course, I see you go live, and I was like, hey, I'm going to take 30 real quick. I'm going to go check out, see what's going on, man. I'm down here in Florida right now. And the best part about this whole situation is literally 2 days ago, my birthday's March 3rd. The Sixers play the Heat on March 5th, and me and all my boys bought tickets. And now we get to watch in live person down in Miami, talk a bunch of shit to a bunch of Heat fans. It's going to be a good time.
That's going to be unbelievable. Now, here's what I want to know, because back in my time when I was working jobs and all, if I said, yo, I need 30 so I can go talk about the Sixers, I'd probably get smacked in the face and say, get the hell back to work. So what are you doing that allows you, one, I guess, to be in Florida, unless that's where you are at, and then, you know, not unless it's personal questions here, but, you know what I mean? You can just take a step out.
Yeah, I live in Florida, but I'm a commission-only salesman. So at the end of the day, I can do what the fuck I want. As long as I'm making that money, they don't care what I do.
I love it, dude. This is stoked. Can you imagine a two-man game? Look, we were foaming out the mouth with excitement to see a Seth Curry and a Joel Embiid two-man game. We're talking about James Harden here.
I know, I'm at the end of the day, I have a Curry jersey. I love Seth Curry as a player. I loved what he brought. He kind of gave me the JJ Redick kind of feel. To a sense, just because he can hit shots. We haven't had that, in the last couple of years. But as far as that, one thing I was thinking, when they were talking about the Harden trade is if Steph and Maxey do stay, who's coming off the bench? Because you can't have Maxey, Seth Curry, and Harden on the court at the same. They're going to get cooked on defense.
Yeah, hold on. Can you repeat that one more time? I'm just writing it down so I can play it out in my head. One more time.
Yeah. So I was saying if you kept Seth,
yes,
and Harden came, either Seth or Maxey would have to come off the bench.
Oh, yeah. I would have said Maxey.
You know what I mean?
Only because you're the ability to, first off, if you just tell him, go get it. Go be a go-getter. Put the ball in his hands with the secondary unit and say, go do your thing. I think that could really maximize Tyrese Maxey right now off the bench, especially I hate it and I despise it. But knowing Doc Rivers' rotation, this can give him an opportunity to just go out there and do his thing. But, no doubt defensively, you'd have some issues.
Yeah. I think keeping Thibault was the right, just because of the who they have, right? Just because of their roster. If they had somebody to, just play like that, three position, it gives some defense, hit a 3 or 2 a game. They don't have shit. They got fucking Korkmaz.
Right.
Korkmaz is guard. Trade him for a gyro or some shit, man. You can get the fuck out of here.
I love it, man. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your workday for sure. But look, I'm not going to argue anymore. If you feel that it's good to keep Thibault over Seth Curry, then by all means, I'm here to support it. That's fine. I'm not going to argue about that. Like this individual, Big Fish, Little Boat, thank you so much for the $2. Seth Curry, though, with the sad fade, it is what it is. I mean, you're going to have to give up something to get something, right? You give up some of these role players. He's more than a role player. He's a starter. But you get James Harden. It's a totally different beast. It's not going to stop me. I won't feel heartbroken. I am a little surprised by how many Seth Curry jerseys are out there, though, to be honest with you. Let's see what some of the Twitter reaction is. As part of the deal, James Harden is opting into his $47 million player option. Ding, ding, ding. 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 So James Harden will be here for next season. Let me repeat, James Harden opted into his $47.3 million player option on his contract next season. That is where we are at. And now we are hearing that the 76ers remain interested in Dennis Schroeder for a backup guard or for a guard in general. Oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Oh, man. The Nets play the Sixers in Philly on March 10th. Ben Simmons, oh, baby. Oh, this is unbelievable. And this is just, I feel, look, the adrenaline's not off yet, right? I'm clearly still all in this amazement of the energy, if you will. I don't even know if that sentence made sense, but I'm clearly in like a high energy mode right now, and it's tremendous. It's starting to wear off that first initial kick, that first initial, like, let's fucking go. That's kind of dialing down a little bit. Now it's going like, wait a second, bro. Digest this. Take a deep breath. Realize, that's right. Oh, we got Ben Simmons out of town. Excuse me. I almost just threw up in my mouth making that statement. We got Ben Simmons out of here. Dude, that guy sucks. Like, he's just a horrible, horrible professional athlete. When you draw up what a professional is supposed to be, and I've made this clear before, forget if it's sports. If you're a financial advisor, if you're a manager at Chick-fil-A, if you're a janitor, if you work at the dollar store, if you work at ShopRite, if you work in a cubicle, it doesn't matter what you do. It's in all aspects of life. How you treat your respective profession says a lot about you. And this guy got so upset because Doc Rivers said, I don't know if you go, I don't know. After losing game 7 when he sucked. If someone tells me, Broads, you had a shitty show, you know what I do the next time I get an opportunity? I make sure it's not shitty. Right? Yeah, we're dealing with this clown. All right. Let's hear from you. Yo, what's happening, man? What's going on?
What's going on, brother? Super excited.
As you should be. I mean, we're all here right now, just super stoked out of our mind. I can't unvision a pick and roll right now, or a pick and pop, or anything pick related between a Harden and an Embiid.
Super, super exciting. I want to highlight 2 points really quick, if I could.
Sure.
Definitely sad to see. I know it's everyone saying Curry. Yes, sad to see Curry go, but I kind of am even more so disappointed or sad to see Drummond go. I think he was a great backup for Embiid and did give us some good minutes. He wasn't a scorer by no means, but he rebounds. He was physical in there. He was great for us. I hope we can address that. The other point being, haven't heard anybody really bring this up. Harden, like Joel, is great at drawing fouls. I am so excited to see us Sixers in playoff time get to the free throw line, slow down the game, and put points on the board. Because Harden can draw fouls, and so can Joel. That is what got me so excited.
Yeah, and I guess my pushback, and I'm not really pushing back because I know you see the bigger picture here, but in terms of, right, being upset to lose Drummond or whatever, we were going to lose something, right? So it's either we lose Matisse Thybulle's defense, we lose Seth Curry's shooting, we lose a little bit when Embiid goes to the bench for 7 or 8 minutes or so, but Paul Millsap coming back in the return definitely helps out that for what it's worth. But, it's like the gain of Harden, and I know you see this, the gain of Harden obviously outweighs anything that you lose within a couple of minutes of Embiid, even though we've seen it in the Toronto series, when he hits the bench, I mean, it's a significant drop-off. That comes on to Doc Rivers, and we also know that he has no idea how to utilize a rotation, so it's fair to bring up, but the outweighing of the positives clearly, is way better than the negatives.
I'm all for it. I'm super, super excited. And yes, you hit the nail on the head. With any trade, there are pros and cons. Yes, we lose something, but let's all remain positive. Let's get to the playoffs and let's do some damage. And we got two guys that can draw fouls like no other. I am so excited.
I am as well. You don't hear, and thank you so much for calling it. You don't hear normally excitement for foul drawing. You know what I mean? And here's my one counter, I guess, to the foul drawing as well. In the postseason, it clearly gets limited, right? Like the whistles are tighter. You're not calling as many fouls as much. So there's that whole issue of that. But yeah, I mean, isolation. Here's the thing. You need someone to go get a bucket, create a bucket, score on their own. Sometimes you need to be bailed out by an offensive possession where a guy just breaks down a defender at will and just beats them up. And guess what? You can put it in James Harden's hands out by the perimeter and go, let's play isolation ball. Let's do it. You want to double Joel? You want to double James? I mean, it just opens up the floor as a whole. Who do you want to double? Which guy? You want to double Joel? You want to double James? Oh, pick your poison. Now, I will say, deep down, I don't know if Ben Simmons ever plays in this building again. I don't. And what would be hilarious is if these two teams meet up in the postseason. What happens if they play one another, okay, in the postseason, and he has to come to Philadelphia? Those tickets would be more than the Super Bowl. $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $12,000 to see that bum in this city. I mean, dude, what a loser. And he's gone. And he's gone. And not only is he gone, but you didn't have to get crap in return, which I always figured would be the case. But seriously, let's remove ourselves to where we are right now and think about, 4 months ago, 3 months ago. Do it for Sexton. Colin Sexton? Oh, my Lord, is that bad? Do it for Fox and Buddy Hield. De'Aaron Fox, the guy who shoots worse than Matisse Thybulle from three. De'Aaron Fox shoots 24% from three. Do you realize that Sabonis was the key piece in going to Sacramento for Tyrese Halliburton? Buddy Hield, he could shoot. Screw it. Get this guy for, quote, just anyone. I mean, it's foolish and embarrassing to ever feel that way. And here you land a James Harden. Now, I'm a little shocked and I'm not shocked at the same time. I was hearing that it absolutely ramped up over this last 4 hours or so. This morning, it got super heavy and things were definitely being discussed. And that's why when Steve Nash the other day said, we're not trading James Harden. Oh, what did you expect him to say? Yeah, he's ready to get out of here. He doesn't want to be anywhere near this organization. No, because just in case he doesn't get traded, he's got to be welcomed back and the public perception can't be as brutal as it would be, even though it was stated behind the scenes. And everybody knew behind the scenes, there's a public perception thing that matters here, and just trying to save face in case it didn't happen and he had to return in a Brooklyn Nets uniform. But ultimately, we're in a great position here. We have two of the best players in the NBA teamed up. That's a start. You'll figure out the other surrounding pieces. It's so difficult to get your top two guys, and they have that. Let's get back to the Anytime Hotline. What's happening?
What's up, bros? What's up, man?
You know what? I got this big rush of energy here. I'm stoked, and I'm thinking about what these two can do, how much damage they can implement on another team, and how scary it is to think about, okay, look, teams doubled Joel with ease and left. Now, Matisse Thybulle's still here, but it's so much different to make that decision so aggressively when James Harden's on the floor as well.
Well, bros, before I start, man. Thank you for being with Sixers fans, Philly fans, name it. Thank you for being on YouTube for the work you've been doing, man. You know, thank you so much on that.
Well, thank you for that statement. Thank you so much.
Yep, of course. Now, before we get into all the double, I just want to say, man, Harden, I got the news that Harden has now accepted his player options, will be here for 2 seasons, not just this 1 season. He picked up his player option we got for a season and a half, which I am excited for. Us Philly fans, we've been through so much from the 10 and 72 year to the trust the process, whatever his name, I can't remember his name right now, that GM, Sam Hinkie, I think his name was, or something like that. Man, forget all that. We've been through so much. We now have James Harden, who I think the Sixers are like the 07-08 Rockets when they had T-Mac and Yao Ming, except you both have them in their primes basically still.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm sorry, I hate to do that. It was just because I was getting a bad reception and bad feed and a bad connection between the two. I would have loved to keep going there, but it was just hard to hear everything fully. Now, this is from a good friend of mine, Tyler Zulli, who works over at The Fanatic. Ben Simmons' first Frosty freeze-out is going to be the greatest of all time. What's going to happen when this guy steps up to the free throw line in Philly and he... Oh, it's going to be hilarious. $5 coming in from D-Rob, James Harden, strip clubs, and Delisandros. Happy for Sixers fans after watching the whole saga this past couple of years. It paid off. I said, it's so cliche, and honestly, it's very, cheesy, if you will, but it was a short-term pain for the long-term gain. And that's so dumb. It's not dumb. It makes sense, but just saying it out loud makes me feel like a child, like I'm 6 years old. But it's true. It makes me feel like I'm going to a homemade gym and there's some sort of stupid saying on the wall. But it's so real and so true. We are sitting in a situation where it stunk and it was awful. And there was this black cloud just standing over top of what was the Camden facility, and it was a tough sell, no doubt about it. Now here we are. The long term definitely ended up paying off here. You got James Harden. Let's get back to the phones. What's happening, bro?
What's up, man?
Yo.
I'm calling in from the Seattle area, man.
Nice. What's
I just
going on?
randomly ran into your show.
Oh, I appreciate
My
that.
only issue with for you guys on this thing is Harden just hasn't looked like himself after the rule change with the drawing the fouls, and he just hasn't seemed like he's been in that much of shape.
Yeah, but that doesn't scare. Look, the Sixers weren't good enough to begin with, right? So you make this move.
Yeah.
You're definitely in a better position now than you were. And I love the fact that you're not wrong where he's not scoring at a 30-point per game clip. He's also playing with Kevin Durant and Kyrie. That's a big difference. But I will go as far as, we look at 22, 10, and 8 as a down season. Imagine that being a down year.
Yeah, I'm hoping this might give him that little motivation that he hasn't seemed to have since he's gotten to Brooklyn. He had that in the beginning of that when they just started playing together. Then it just seems to just fall off the cliff. Maybe this will kind of put the fire back in. And the Eastern Conference Finals are going to be wild.
Yeah,
it's going to be
if they
wild.
can get there. It's funny.
I'm excited.
Sure.
It's been a minute since the East has been this competitive. This is going to be a wild playoff. Everybody's healthy. You got even the Bulls and you got these other teams. It's going to be a fun time.
It is. Oh, no doubt about it. Thank you so much for making the call, especially out from Seattle. I love this right here. $2 coming in from Vince. Morey is a stud GM. Sixers fans in great hands for sure. And the reason why I bring that up to you is if you remember when all this speculation was happening in the beginning, don't give up Maxey. Don't give up this guy. Don't give up more. You know what I mean? It's like, hold on a second. The Nets don't have as much leverage as you think they do. There was a 0% chance because Daryl Morey has eyeballs and he's a very good president. He's a very good basketball mind. He's a very smart individual. There's no way in hell that he was giving up Tyrese Maxey in this deal. He knew that he had it right in his hands. He had the ball in his court, no doubt about it. So, there was this overreaction. Oh, Morey does this. Morey's so dumb. Morey's not making this trade. Morey's not doing that because Morey's smart. because Morey's not reacting like a fan, because Morey's not making emotional, quick decisions just out of frustration. He's playing the hand as the hand should be played. And now here we are in a position to succeed, all because of him. And I got to give him a ton of credit for that. Now, I mean, I would love to see what some of these group chats are saying right now, because it is nonstop insane. It's funny. We had a bunch of friends in this one Sixers chat we have. And for the longest time, this guy's an idiot. This guy's pathetic. This guy's terrible. No, he's not. Look at what he just did. It's amazing. Now, in terms of James Harden being a little on the downfall of his career and not being the best, you could turn this thing around rather quickly. You know how many people said that about Chris Paul as well? Oh, Chris Paul, he's so old, he's so done, forget about it. And now he's such a crucial part to what this franchise in Phoenix is all about. Monty Williams, Devin Booker, you add that acquisition, and now you are in such a different level. You're in a different playing field. You're on a different level than everybody else, where, I mean, yeah, obviously he's not having the best season in the world, but to act as if, look, there's a difference between playing with a dominant center like Joel Embiid and then being the number one point guard compared to the combination of Kyrie Irving, who is a true point guard, James Harden, who is a mixture of a combo guard, and then Kevin Durant, who is an isolation player and a player who can do everything all around the damn floor. But this is more of a setting where, James, this is your role. This is what you're going to be. This is your identity, and this is who you are, where with Brooklyn, Kyrie can play in one city, can't play in another city. Kevin Durant's unhealthy. They're losing X amount of games in a row. There's a lot of issues here all around the block, and you can't lose sight of that, where now there's more of a set in stone. Hey, James Harden, this is what you're going to be. And I can't wait to see those two play together, and I can't wait to hear what our next caller has to say. So, hey, what's happening? Thanks for calling in.
Hey, Brody. How's it going, brother?
It's going well, man. How are you doing today?
Good, man. Calling in from San Antonio. Grew up in the South Jersey area.
Oh, nice. Where at in South Jersey? I'm a South Jersey native.
Yeah. Well, I live in San Antonio now. But,
yeah, where did you grow up in this neck of the woods?
Winslow Township.
Oh,
I went to Overbrook.
I grew up in Sicklerville, so it wasn't too far away.
Oh, nice. Right on, man.
So what's happening?
Yeah, I've been a fan, man, since like the days of Barkley. And the reason why he left was because the organization at that time didn't do what this organization just did today.
Right.
And that's to surround him with pieces. Now, needless to say, he goes to Phoenix '93, and the rest is history. He goes to the finals. I love the trade. We knew that, Brooklyn knew, to your point, what was on the table, and that they had the advantage, that we were trying to move the guy for the best possible outcome for us, given the time block. So we had to strike while the kettle was hot.
Right.
We got him with Embiid. We still have enough to make some noise. We have a dog in the fight. We got rid of that stupid contract. And I'm going to love seeing Ben Simmons come back to Philly missing free throws.
I don't know if he's going to show his face. If you can't come back when everyone, I'm not going to say everyone's rooting for you, but let's be realistic. You have a better time of, getting back out there with the Sixers uniform than you do an opponent, and especially a team like the Brooklyn Nets, who are actually good. So, I don't know. If you can't show your face now, even before, it got so heavy, I get it. We're now in a spot where you can never look back. But before it got to this level of a disaster, there were plenty of opportunities to show his face, and he never was able to. So now that we're in this position, is he really going to come into Philadelphia and play? I don't know.
Hey, I want to end it on this. This is going to be this biggest Benedict Arnold move, because he's a traitor, even before he got traded, since J.D. Drew left the Phillies and went to the Cardinals. We all know what happened when he came back to Philly.
Yeah. All right, so that's what you're predicting.
Well, he better wear something protective coming back, because I know how the boys can get.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate the great phone call. Very insightful. I thought there was some good stuff in there for sure. We got $5 donation coming in saying, I guess I just won't be flying to Philly just to see the Eagles play. I can't believe I'm looking forward to the Eastern Conference playoffs. We're excited for sure, as we should be. And I just want to lay it out where I'm just as stoked as everybody else, and I'm super pumped up and super excited about everything. But, I mean, they have a great opportunity to compete. There's still some missing holes with the roster and all, and Daryl Morey is going to have to implement some stuff here to, big picture, to fulfill this roster the right way. Are they going to win a championship this year? I don't know. They're in a better position to, but I'm not in the mode where it's like it's impossible for them to lose. Like, no, they can still lose. There's such thing as chemistry. There's such things as, getting the right fit around everyone. So I always date back to, and I know they got to the finals, but if you remember when the team that happened in Miami the first year that lost to Dallas, that was the Dallas Mavericks the year that LeBron was in the Cavs and they lost? No. Okay, it was the first year against the Miami Heat. It takes time to understand fully who your teammates are, who plays like what, just getting chemistry and everything. And I'm not telling you it's impossible to make around. It absolutely is. And I expect them to go far and make this thing exciting and make this thing intriguing for sure. But we can't get to the point of automatically writing them into the finals. The Milwaukee Bucks are making moves. There's other teams that are making moves as well. This puts you more in a serious category, but there's still a lot of work to do surrounding these two. I guess that's my moral of the story, is there is a lot to do. Now, Derek Bodner, who covers the Sixers, put this out. And he says that this becomes even more important now that Tobias Harris post-ups and pick and roll should be largely out of his playbook. At least he's sharing the court with Harden and Embiid. Yeah, the Tobias Harris thing gets fascinating. Okay, so he started it off by saying, the lack of a single high-volume, quick-release, catch-and-shoot threat around Embiid and Harden really jumps out. I wonder if Green doesn't return to the starting lineup in a relatively small minute role. Yeah, that is going to be interesting, how Danny Green shapes up in all this, how Tobias Harris fits. And just to be clear, I'm not anti-Tobias Harris as much as everybody else. I think that there is definitely a role in here for him to be able to perform and be a nice piece, no doubt about it. I'm not anti-Toby. I think that there's still obviously good play that he could provide as a 4, and he can still he gave you 30 the other night. He went double digits in the fourth quarter a couple games ago. Like, he's got value. He's overpaid, but he's got value that can help out this team, and he can make plays for you. I wonder how they're going to build around these two players. That's why Seth Curry, I go back and forth. I get keeping Matisse, but I also get giving up Matisse Thybulle in this deal and keeping Seth Curry, just so you have that ability to keep that pro spacing around your half-court set. But I'm curious how everybody else feels about that out there. But we'll take this call right now. Hey, what's happening?
Hey, am I on? Can you
Yes,
hear me?
yes, I hear you. What's going on, man? How are you feeling right
brother?
now?
Hey, great day to be in Philly. Can't be more happy. I mean, I didn't think it was happening, but here we are. And I guess just looking at where we're left and all the chips fell, I mean, I guess I'm not as concerned about the catch and shoot 3 issue. I mean, I know George is kind of slow, but he's shooting 40%. Tyrese is shooting 39%. Danny's kind of stunk this year, but he's shooting 38%.
Here's
So
my
I think we
counter a
can
little bit,
work
even though
around that.
I always like to look at the other side of things when people bring up a point, and I'm with you. There's obviously, some guys, but if we're talking about fourth quarter playoff game, you got Embiid, you got Harden, and you want guys surrounding him. I think Niang's a good, he is a definition of an NBA role player. He has his highs, he has his lows, but fourth quarter playoff moment, I'd rather have someone who can be a JJ Redick, a Seth Curry compared to like a George Niang for sure.
Yeah, I hated seeing that Seth's name in that trade deal, but to make it happen, it was a must.
Exactly.
But,
would you rather have traded Thybulle or no?
No.
Okay.
The young players, I always stick with the young players, and those draft picks can go as well. I wasn't too concerned about them, but Maxey and Tease, those guys will be around for a while. You want to keep them as long as you can.
Yeah, I'm cool with the defense. I think he obviously brings an element here that makes me feel like, okay, I'm cool with understanding how important, because as much as I want because in this league, offense beats defense, there is something to be said about when you finish the job and you win a championship, you have a top defense as well. So I'm not anti either or, but I do think losing Seth Curry, even though I'll take the trade-off any day of the week, it's definitely going to impact the starting 5.
Yeah, definitely. But I guess one thing I wanted to touch on is Millsap's kind of a dinosaur at this point. You think they pick up someone like Yurts in Miami or someone else to back up Embiid now that our boy Drummond's gone?
Well, Miami and thank you so much. Miami's still kicking it, and they're winning some basketball games, and they're up there with the Eastern Conference. I don't know what you have to offer that would satisfy them enough to get rid of what they're doing, as they're in first place in the Eastern Conference, may I add, and they're 35-20. I'd imagine that trading with the 76ers right now, I don't know what the Sixers would have to be able to acquire something like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not telling you Paul Millsap is something I'm thrilled about, but in terms of holding the fort down, is it something that can get you by? It might be. And I don't think that Daryl Morey is finished yet. Daryl Morey is still on the move. Daryl Morey is still, he's only played 24 games. He averages 3 points per game. How many minutes is he getting each night? He's getting 11 minutes of action. But let's be realistic here. In the playoffs, Embiid's playing 40. Embiid's playing 41. So this isn't anything where we're demanding him to play anything more. If anything, we'll probably be asking him to play less than those 11 minutes that he averages per game. There is something to be said, though, about where he's at in his career. And Drummond definitely gives you probably a little bit more pop, a little bit more buzz, a little bit more flow. Now, it comes with awful floaters and bad takes to the basket and some ugliness as well. So we can't just pretend that it's all beautiful and all roses and everything's just so perfect and fantastic out of him. But at the same time, it's better than Paul Millsap. Can he hold the fort down based off of what you have? And I guess, yeah. So someone's asking me right here. Sammy says, what's the starting lineup? Now, there's a couple things I want to go over. So I got James Harden as the point guard. Now, I got shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. We can put Embiid in at center. We got Tobias Harris at the 4, and we have I'll probably plug in. It's either Danny Green. Okay, I would say there's two things you could do. You could do Harden with Thibault and Green. So you could do Harden, Thibault, Green, Tobias, Embiid. Let me say that one more time. You could do Harden, Thibault, Danny Green, Tobias, Embiid. Or you could do Harden, Maxey, Thibault, Tobias, Embiid. Or you could do Harden, Maxey, Green. The thing is, I want play off the bench. And Maxey could provide something for you, I think, off the bench. You didn't get your Patty Mills. You didn't get that secondary score or that secondary point guard to help you out. And just because I start Danny Green, it doesn't mean he's playing some severe amount of minutes and he's logging in an obnoxious amount and playing, 35, 40 minutes. Like, I'm not taking it to that level by any means. So that's definitely not what I'm anticipating at all. I would probably do something like, see, Thibault, oh man, that crushes you with your half-court set. But if Maxey starts, who's coming off your bench to provide you any? Don't give me Shake Milton. I don't feel good about Shake Milton. I have to play around with some options. I think it starts with Harden, Thibault, Green, Tobias, Embiid. And then Maxey comes in off the bench. Oh, yeah, Schroeder. They are working on some other pieces. So if they go out and land a Dennis Schroeder or somebody else that they can help out, that would be definitely large. Oh, my God. I just saw someone say the Sixers paid too much. How can you look at this trade and think that they gave up too much? I'm sorry. That's outrageous. That's absolutely pathetic. It's not even close to that. Uh-oh. I'm starting to see some graphics getting thrown around. If you're going to boo, stay on that side. Remember when he said that? All those Instagram posts. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. That is so wild. I'm sorry. I'm just scrolling a little bit through the Sixers world. All right, this is from Harrison Grimm of Liberty Ballers. I'll be honest, I really don't get the people claiming this is a bad move for the Sixers. You're adding James Harden, who is still really good, next to Joel Embiid, the leading MVP candidate. The Sixers have a legitimate championship window for the next 2 to 3 years. Exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about here. And that's why, when the outrage is, or not the outrage, but if the phrasing is, it's championship or bust right now, It is in terms of the longer window. It's not, hey, we got 30 games to go win a championship and that's all. There's a reason why he picked up his player option. There's a reason why Daryl Morey knew to target him and he'd be willing to stay here and be a part of what this franchise can be teamed up with Embiid. They got a good opportunity here. Now, it's going to take some time to adjust. It's going to take some time to figure it out. Let's say you pick up a Schroeder. It's very difficult now, and this is something similar to what I said when they were playing with Brett Brown and you add Tobias, you add Jimmy. Imagine you snap your fingers, close your eyes, and automatically Jimmy Butler, Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias, JJ Redick just know how to go win a championship within 5 seconds of learning each other, within just a handful of moments of playing with one another. It's not that easy. It's a difficult task to ask. So there's a lot that's involved, 1,000%. And when it comes to, figuring this bad boy out for sure. So we'll see. I don't like this, though. King puts this in the chat and wants Tobias to play the 3. I'm anti-Toby playing 3. That makes me uncomfortable, and I don't feel that that's an opportunity for him to succeed. We know that he's very fragile in getting success as it is, and he has been playing strong this last month. But if you factor in Tobias Harris's play as a whole, I don't like the matchups that's created when he's playing a 3-man game. Not a 3-man game, the 3 position as a whole. Sammy comments in and says Doc has no excuses. I don't think that that's necessarily true right now because there's still holes in this roster and they're still playing teams that are extremely talented as well. It's not like the Sixers are by far 5 billion times better than some of these other teams in the Eastern Conference. I mean, we could say that right now, but that's not necessarily true. There's still some fantastic teams out there, and there's still some teams that have been meshing together and know one another where there's still holes on this roster. Now, here's where I will agree with you. There's no way in hell that Embiid, Maxey, Tobias, Harden, these guys should not be off the floor at the same time. If I ever see a circumstance where these individuals are not on the floor, there's got to be a combination of 1 to 2 of these players always, and I mean always, on the floor at the same time, or else I'm going to be absolutely devastated. By the way, in case you didn't know, because we just had a couple people try and call in, I'll answer your phone call offline, if you will, and then I'll pot you up when I'm ready to put you on. So if you hear me speaking like I'm just talking to the YouTube channel normally while you're on the phone, I see you. I answered your call. You're almost in queue, and I'll pot you up from there. I've been enjoying the phone calls, live phone calls for sure. I've obviously done the Anytime Hotline. I did this years and years ago, the phone calls live, and then I kind of just stopped and made it more of a voicemail box. But if this is something that people are interested in doing a lot more for my post-game shows to get that live post-game reaction, then there's no doubt about it. I'll implement it more for sure. I'm already starting to live stream a bit more if you haven't already noticed. I'm having a blast with it. It's definitely fun to engage with you in live time, and it's awesome to see everybody hanging out and kicking it, and it's just an awesome time. It's 2:30. We're obviously keeping our eyes on what else is possible, what else is available, what else is out there. Constant refreshing here on the Twitter sphere. Let's see what else we got. Delilah's is trending on Twitter. That is hysterical. That is absolutely amazing. Matisse Thybulle, there's an appreciation post of Matisse Thybulle and Tyrese Maxey both smiling from ear to ear, not based off of this, just in general, them on the floor. And you could see the excitement of just them too, not in reference to staying in Philadelphia, but I'd imagine they have a big smile on their face right now as well, just like our next caller probably does as well. What's happening, man? You're on the air.
Hey, bros, it's Frank from Egg Harbor Township. How you doing?
Yeah, what's up, Frank? What's happening?
Not much. I'm happy with the trade. I mean, I don't like losing Drummond, so we're going to have a backup center issue possibly. But everything else, I'm happy with the deal. We kept Maxey, we kept Thybulle, we kept our young core. So overall, I would grade the trade at least an A-.
Oh, no doubt. And that's why it bothers me where, I'm seeing this reaction of we gave up too much or I can't believe we lost Drummond. Like, what were your expectations? To just fleece them and hand them Ben Simmons and get everything back in return? You got to give up a little bit of something. And superstars are so hard to acquire in this league that it's easier to find a Drummond and it's easier to find a role player compared to a star. So get your star, and then from there, you can find other ways. Now, Daryl Morey still has a lot of work to do. This is not a completed project.
Right, and also there's the buyout market that'll be coming up, very soon. You could probably find. I think they need at least one more shooter, and like you said, a backup center. But if guys are interested in coming to a possible championship team, having Harden and Embiid is going to be a lot more attractive.
Great point. You know, that's something that I really haven't gotten to yet, but in terms of, okay, what does this mean? Now, here's the problem with that, and this is more off-season talk, and it's fair to bring up, but due to money and Tobias Harris's contract, which is a whole nother part of dialogue here, you know, it's not like they could bring players on board, not in terms of like the big splashy ones, unless, of course, you think about Tobias Harris being moved on from.
Exactly. But you're doing a great job, Broads, and enjoy listening to you.
Thank you so much, Frank. Thank you so much. Very kind words. I appreciate all the support to this point. Everybody. That's literally to everybody as well. But thank you, Frank, for taking the time in to call in for sure. Harden and Embiid get all the foul calls. Not a single other Sixer is going to get more than 2 free throw attempts a game. Hey, you don't know about that. We're working on Tyrese Maxey improving in that area. Don't be afraid to admit that there's going to be some times where he gets to the line 5, 6, 7 times. I've seen it. I've seen him attack the basket at will with that speed. People try and catch up. They throw their hands at him. Maybe they hit him in the back of the shoulder, or they hit him in the back of the neck, and he still finishes anyway. And he gets a big and one, and the crowd at the Wells Fargo Center erupts. Hey, we're not ruling that out at all. Please, let's not do that. I love Tyrese Maxey. This kid's a stud. This kid's just a stud. Yeah, look, you think the zone's going to work the same way? You think the zone is going to be as efficient as it was? Amazing. It really is. Yes, we did lose Seth Curry. How close is this team to winning a championship? There's still some things to figure out. You need a guard. You need to look at the center. You need some wing players. Like, this is not a perfect product by any means. Now, hold on a second. I want to play this audio of Stephen A. Smith losing his mind. All right? I need to hear this. I haven't heard it yet, and I'm fascinated to see what this is all about. Let's hear this. I can't hear anything. Now, why can't I hear this part of the... Now, what can I hit to get this to play out loud? I'm trying to think here, because this is playing through my Roadcaster. Oh, it's muted. Duh. All right, let's try this.
But I also, in saying that, I want to say for the record, this could potentially, not definitively, but this could potentially go down as the worst day in the career of Daryl Morey. The worst day. Think about this for a second here.
Come on, bro. Come on. Let's see if we can find some more audio cuts from Stephen A. Smith. I mean, is that really what we're doing here? Where we're sitting in this? Nope, hold on. I went to his actual Twitter page. I want to see what he's saying on social media, or people are saying about him in general. Nope, that's nothing. Let's go to the latest. Let's see if anything is. Did he really just say that? I mean, let's be realistic. It's funny. Stay off the weed. That's the reaction to that video. That's the only video I see surfacing. If anybody sees something else, absolutely let me know and throw it out there as well. But the stay off the weed is all over the place, which, it is what it is for sure. I'm having a blast though right now, and I'm thinking about, okay, we got to make sure we get our traditional podcast out as well at some point tonight. So do we just do more live calls a little bit later on? Do I let this thing digest? And, now I'm starting to play with, in my head a little bit, play around and what the execution is going to be for my traditional Broads Media podcast as well. But this has been absolutely fun for sure. Is he still employed? Well, with all due respect, I mean, Stephen A., we got to respect Stephen A. I don't hate Stephen A. I think Stephen A. is one of the best, man. He's no Skip Bayless. Like, he's not a bum. Stephen A. has been in this business for a long time. Yo, what is going on? You're talking to Broads. You there?
Yeah, bro.
Hey.
I have a question. All right, so
I have
can
an
Ben
answer,
Simmons
I think.
go right over and play with the Brooklyn Nets?
Yeah. What's stopping him?
Well, you know how he has that mental health issue?
Ding, ding, ding. It'll be really
So if he
interesting.
goes over and plays with Brooklyn, will there be a conflict?
No, I mean, no, no. He's allowed to just go. What he would say, and nobody could really question it. What he would do is he'd play the other side and say, "Well, I feel mentally ready to play now," even though the reason why he wasn't mentally ready to play and he had the mental health issue is just a Philadelphia reason. So, no, there's nothing like legally or league-wide or something that would hold him back. If he openly says, I'm now ready to mentally play, then we'll obviously put the pieces to the puzzle together here. Nobody's going to be surprised when that's the case.
Okay.
Yeah. But guess what? I don't see him, and I'll ask you this. Do you think you ever see him play on this court as an opponent?
No.
I know.
We will shred him with comments and everything.
I don't even think shredding him, and thank you so much. I don't even know if shredding him is enough to fully explain what would happen here. It would be ruthless. And you know what? Here's the funny thing about it. Even with him not playing, if he was to just not play, right, and not show up, stay in Brooklyn, whatever the case may be, here's reality of the situation, everybody. Okay? This is what's going to happen. The fans are going to go nuts anyway. The fans are going to let him hear it. The fans are going to just roast him nonstop, even without him in the building, and that would be hysterical. Now, I will have to play this side, though, because I am a fair man. And unfortunately, there are people that cross the line. There's a difference between enjoying this for what it's worth and, make fun of him, mock him in a respectful, you're a bum way, and then that there's a line that can be crossed, and there's this extra level that we don't need to go to. And unfortunately, I already know that some people will cross that line, and I think that that should not happen. And I will feel very embarrassed as a 76ers fan for those people that will do something totally ridiculous, totally to a spot that makes me feel very awful. There's a line. There's a line. So let's enjoy the line and make him feel like a dope, but at the same time, let's, cool the jets to like the line part of things. Okay, Ramona Shelburne tweeted this out 1 hour ago. Ben Simmons will continue to work with his therapist to get mentally ready to play in Brooklyn. It's a work in progress, according to one source close to him, but he's thrilled with the change of scenery and has already spoken to Kevin Durant. This guy's a clown, man. Mocking mental health the way that he did, it makes me sick. It really does. I can't stand it. I can stand, though, our next caller.
Weird Stone Daphne.
What's up?
But do you?
Yo. Yo, you there? Oh, he got the chills. He got the goosebumps. No reason to hang up after that. Philly stole Harden. Did he steal Harden? No, I mean, Harden wanted out. And this is what happens when a player is not happy with his current environment. The team is forced to make a trade. The team is forced to move on from the individual. So, this is all part of this. And this is why sometimes timing is important, right? Because if James Harden was satisfied with Brooklyn, and if Kevin Durant wasn't hurt and Kyrie Irving was vaccinated, maybe we're not in this position that we're in right now. But reality of the situation is we are here right now. This is where we are at. And this is what happens when a player is unhappy. It opens up the door for more dialogue. And here we have it. And we have dialogue to get you on the phones as well. Yo.
Yo. I just wanted to comment, man, on this Harden situation. So
hit me.
I'm a Harden fan. I've been rocking with Harden since he was in OKC. And I noticed, this Kyrie and Nash situation in Brooklyn really pissed him off. Really, really had him pissed off. And it just, that roster and that whole organization is a mess right now. And what I want Nets fans to know, what are you going to do when Kyrie will miss games? KD will always be hurt and miss some games. What are you going to do when it's just Ben Simmons out there with those rookies?
Yeah, no, that will definitely be problematic. But I mean, you can make the argument for anything. Like, what are the Sixers without Embiid, and what is the Lakers without LeBron? I mean, if any of these top players, right? If Milwaukee loses Giannis, it's all over. So regardless of who it is and what star it is and all that, if you lose
we can make those arguments for regular players, but it's Kyrie's guaranteed to miss games. Like last year was mental health. This year it's the vaccine mandate. KD is, it's freak accidents, but he's always hurt every year. I mean, he played, I think, 42 games last year and probably like 36 the year before.
Yeah, but see, for me, Kevin Durant is one of those players where, and I'm not devaluing what you're saying here, and you're bringing up fair points that, there's times where he missed some opportunities, but also last year by himself, he almost carried that Brooklyn Nets team against the Bucks. And I mean, you remember that back and forth at the end of those games, and he was magnificent. So KD's one of those players like a LeBron, like a Steph, where, you can dial up or tally up as many games as he was unavailable or whatnot. But when they're in that mode to go and they're winning games and they're in the playoffs or whatever, I just can't ever rule them out just because they're that special of players,
Yeah, I just want to see how this roster works out, because I could see the pick and roll for Philly, and Philly has a good bench. Like, you got good players around Embiid.
It needs help. Needs help.
Around KD and Kyrie, you got Seth Curry, but before that you had Bruce Brown, DeAndre Bembry, Kessler Edwards.
Yeah, some of these names are not moving the needle for sure, and I appreciate the phone call. I do feel that maybe a little too optimistic on what's surrounding these players right now. Matisse Thybulle can't shoot a basketball, or he's unwilling to get better from three. Like, it's pretty bad. The fact, and I'll never forget this, that yet the last game against the Suns, he drills 2 3-pointers to start off the game in the first quarter and doesn't end up with another field goal all night long. That's just totally unacceptable. You lose Seth Curry, so right now off the bench, you have a hurt Shake Milton, a Matisse Thybulle, a combination of a Thybulle, a Green, or a Tyrese Maxey, depending on how you set up your rotation, a George Niang, an Isaiah Joe. I mean, they got a lot to work around. They need to work around this as well. I'm not as optimistic, and I'm not crushing a Kevin Durant as much as he was in terms of, who they are. Hold on a second. Let's see here. Jason Dumas. This guy's a joke. So he tweets at Kevin Kincaid. Why does this soccer reporter, Kevin Kincaid, who covers the Sixers for Crossing Broad, may I add, have it out for me? Tweets and tweets of trashing my name, calling me Jason Dumbass. I'd expect that out of a faceless Stan account, but wow, what gives? Are you good, dog? I thought it was just one tweet, but you're obsessed. And then Kevin Kincaid responded with, no obsession, just identifying sloppiness. You retract your own reporting. Share stuff that isn't accurate. Fans can't access the practice facility, because he was the one to claim that the Sixers fans were going to the practice facility to basically annihilate Ben Simmons when the whole situation played out to begin the season at training camp. Jason Dumas was the guy to bring that up. So Kevin Kincaid is rightfully bringing up the fact that he's sharing stuff that isn't accurate and then fudge details all the time, like calling yourself a Philly Bull, even though you're from the burbs and went to Malvern Prep. The funny part was when the Sixers executive told me they laugh at everything Jason Dumas tweets. Yes, I love it. Kevin Kincaid's a beauty, man. He's excellent. If you don't follow his work over at Crossing Broad, you absolutely should. I apologize. I didn't realize I had this tweet up there as long as I did, but just incredible to think about that sequence. Jason Dumas is he's terrible at his job. Well, I mean, maybe I take that back, because his job is just to report everything Clutch Sports says. So he's doing his job, but he's not a respected voice whatsoever, and he's 1,000% a fraud. It's just hilarious. And sorry, I'm looking at some of these group chats. I'm overwhelmed. I'm going to have to look through all of these 186 messages whenever we're done, but you are all way more important. You hear that? You are all way more important for what we're doing right now and how fantastic this is. I don't think Ben Simmons knows anything, David. Truthfully, I don't think he knows anything. What other options are on here? These are just the presets. That's terrible. Oh, you guys can't even hear that because it's muted. That might have happened in previous times. Wait, is this one muted? Nope, you guys can hear that. Woj was wrong? What is Woj wrong about? What was Woj wrong about? Exactly. I would love to know. Because Woj said a lot of good things. And he was right on the money with what I heard. So I want to know from you, Monster, how Woj was wrong. And while we get that information, we'll hear from some great people right now. Hey, what's happening?
What's up?
Yo, how you feeling right now, man? This is an exciting time for sure, and I'm stoked.
It really is. But I was just wanting to know what you thought about Furkan's like what's going to happen with Furkan now that there's another shooter on the team.
I hope I never see him play ever again.
Oh, really?
He stinks.
I don't know. He's a Turkish sniper.
Oh,
I'm still rooting for him.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like his ball movement and like the way he carries the ball. It like makes me think that like he has this potential.
I think you're trolling me.
I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm a Philly fan. You know how it is.
You really feel that way about Furkan Korkmaz? You're not just playing games?
No, not playing games.
You watch him dribble the basketball as a guard and think, this is great. I love when he's running this second unit.
No, but I don't think he should be running any unit, but I think he will be a good
Well, I hate
staff to utilize him.
Well, I mean, there's only so much you can do when he's out there running the floor and he's shooting the basketball under 30%. I mean, from three, that is. He's got one job, right? And now that you have Maxey and Harden, that opens up the door for some possibilities here for someone else to run point, obviously. But my guy is shooting 28% from three. I mean, that's on him. He's had some wide open looks and he's had some opportunities to play better. He's just flat out been awful. All right, let's go back to what was saying Woj was wrong. Now, people are bringing up that Woj said that they weren't talking. Yes, but then if you listen to this morning, he reported that there is dialogue happening. This morning, things started to open up. This morning, there was way more in conversation and way more happening. So at the time of when that was reported, maybe there wasn't talks occurring as much. Then this morning, there was the report that, yeah, they are starting to talk. You do know things can change, where maybe yesterday the talks weren't as fluid, and then now it is as fluid. Now, I'm not going to downplay Woj maybe trying to sell a different story, and maybe the Nets are talking to him and trying to sell something. By all means, I get everything's on the table, but Woj is as respectful as you can get in this position when you're thinking about all this noise and all this drama. Now, when did he said that they were not dealing with the Sixers for James Harden? I mean, if let me get this straight. Let me get this straight before we take someone else's phone call here. When things happened previously, and then things change, you report that. So there was a time when they didn't feel it was going to happen. Things change. James Harden makes his displeasure more known. He speaks to certain people, shows his signs of frustration. Then they go, hey, maybe we have to do this. At one point, not really open. Things change. Things open up. Wasn't going to happen. Things change. Happened. That's all. Woj is as credible as you can get. Like, this is what blows my mind. We're sitting here now. Yeah, like this is just hilarious to me. We're sitting here now when the trade happens, and your number one thought was, wow, I can't believe Woj said before that it wasn't going to happen, and now it is. Like, that's your takeaway from this? After everyone else's garbage, the most credible guy that you can honestly look at throughout all of this NBA trade deadline, the guy that sells the least amount of crap, that's your takeaway after this acquisition happens? God bless you, brother. God bless you. To each their own. I'm not telling you you're not allowed to focus on that. If you want to, by all means, I'll focus on the fact that the 76ers just got James Harden. When's that come into play? Because sign me up any day of the week for that. That's amazing. I mean, I am stunned by this reaction on where things are going. Yeah, there was probably a time where they weren't talking about a trade, and then things move forward and progress as the NBA trade deadline comes about, and then things change. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to waste my energy on that type of conversation. I'd rather use my conversation nicely with someone who's checking in on the Anytime Hotline right now, and let's do that. So, you.
Yo, bro.
Yo.
Yo, I can't believe it, dude. Can't believe it.
Yeah, it's a very interesting feeling, isn't it?
It's awesome, and I'll be the first to say that you were right and I was wrong. I thought we should have went and got Halliburton while we had a chance. I didn't think that the Nets would give up Harden and for Simmons.
Well, it takes what it does is, and if he was happy, this wouldn't have happened. But it takes when stars get unhappy, this is what happens. Ben Simmons sits out, Harden demands a trade, and that's why Daryl Morey had to play the long game here. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton went for Sabonis, and I think Sabonis is a good player, but he's not on the level of what you can package up in return for a Ben Simmons.
I just like the idea of having like a young up and coming guard, for the future. But obviously,
there's no future. Yeah, there's no the future.
We need to win now.
Exactly. The future is somewhat of the look. I'm not saying that we valued Tyrese Maxey enough to think of the future. We valued some of these other players, Matisse Thybulle, more. People felt higher on him than I did in terms of things, but there's a combination. There's a way to do both. You can definitely play both sides of things. But I mean, the fact that you waited it out and you played it to perfection. Credit to Daryl Morey. I had all the trust in the world because he's known to be a very smart basketball mind for a reason. There's a reason why. The moment he became available, the entire NBA world went, wow, the Sixers have to go get him.
It was getting to the, it was getting close. I was getting worried, but he made it happen. I think we probably need to get a couple other guys, maybe in the buyout or something, just to kind of, build the rest of the team, to fill some holes. But other than that, I think we're set.
We definitely do need to do a little bit more. Thanks, Ryan, for calling in. At least I have you saved in as Ryan, so that means you've called way back in the prime start of Sports Talk with Brode. So hopefully I got that correctly there. Let's go to a $5 donation. Do you think a change of scenery and shooters all over the floor will unlock Ben Simmons? Or he will never be a championship caliber point guard? Here's the thing. If Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving ball out and do their portions of this, and they exceed and they excel, Ben Simmons isn't, he's a part of it. But there's a difference between being the number 2 guy. Excuse me. Oh, man. See, I'm throwing up just thinking about Ben Simmons. Just horrible things spew out of my mouth. Throw up, vomit. That's the same thing, both the same. So who knows what I'm even saying anymore. But my point is, if James Harden and Kevin Durant, jeez. All right, take a deep breath, birds. See what Ben Simmons does to my emotions? Okay. If Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, 32-36. They both dominate and you win because of how electric they play. And Ben Simmons is a part of that as like a third or fourth type of style of player. Well, then that's a totally different ball game compared to Ben Simmons winning the title for being the guy and being the star and taking over. There's plenty of players on Milwaukee that have a ring and Charles Barkley doesn't. Now, some of those guys are Dante DiVincenzo, right? There's a difference between being on a championship team, which I'm not devaluing your role with that, and then there's a difference between being a Kevin Durant or a Kyrie Irving on a championship caliber team. So it depends on what those guys do. I'll put it to you this way. If KD and Kyrie Irving don't carry them there, Ben Simmons isn't going to be the guy to carry them to a championship. It'll be because he's surrounded by star talent, which would change what exactly we thought we were getting at the time of the NBA draft, when Ben Simmons was the guy, right? Ben Simmons is the guy. Huge difference for sure. Huge difference. So it doesn't mean he can't win. It's just, is he part of it because he's the player, or is it the other way around? We got $2 coming in from Bubbles. Blunt with Broads. Nothing wrong with smoking a blunt. It's been a long time since I smoked a blunt, to be honest with you. It's been quite some time. It's been quite some time. Other ways to do it. Blunt, though, been quite some time. Brings me back to the old days for sure. You're sitting there listening to Wiz Khalifa, Mac Miller, in the back of a Honda Civic in your buddy's driveway before you go back inside. Those were the days. Those were the days. We're getting down to the 3 o'clock hour. It's crazy, huh? We're getting down to that nitty gritty. We're getting down to that 3 p.m. trade deadline. And then, of course, you get all of the after the 3 o'clock stuff that went official. Now, I need to see exactly what's happening between Kevin Kincaid. We'll do a check-in. We'll do a check-in on the Kevin Kincaid stuff. No obsession. Does he respond to this? I don't think he responded. Did he respond? No, he didn't. He did not respond. I'll respond to this beautiful individual who's calling in right now, though. Hey, what is up? You're on the air. Hello?
Yo, bro.
Yo. What is going on?
Man, they better get their motherfucking tickets for March 10th because it's going down in the city. Oh, man, I don't care if I'm sitting behind a goddamn backboard for that 158. I'm sitting behind that shit.
Yeah, you're killing me. I know. I can't wait. It's like my adrenaline thinking about that situation is insane. I mean, it's going to be so hectic. And honestly, I don't see a way he shows up. I just don't.
Man, listen. I would have paid for the Greyhound to take Ben Simmons down 95 north my damn self.
Me too. I honestly would have put like a backpack on that had a leash and walked him. I would have walked him down 95. Screw driving. That's how much I couldn't stand looking at him.
But my only concern is I'm happy for the trade. I don't want to stunt the growth of Tyrese because he's doing so good, and I know James Harden and Embiid are going to be kind of ball dominant.
It'll be okay.
I just hope Doc figure out a way to keep the spacing and find a way to still let Tyrese Maxey grow because, we still know it's a lot more upside. I just hope that don't get interrupted, but other than that, I just hope we stay aggressive and, make our normal push that we make after the All-Star break when we getting hyped up for the playoffs.
Sure. And thank you so much for calling in. I do think that, look, Maxey's a baller. He's not going to allow this to change his trajectory or ruin what he's supposed to be. Like, Maxey's got the right mentality to be a stud and to be a dog anyway, regardless. So I'm not worried about that. He'll be fine. If he moves to the bench and it's a 6-man role or something along those lines where Danny Green starts but plays bench role minutes and then you kind of flip-flop to stagger some lineups. I hate using the word stagger in Doc Rivers because apparently he doesn't know what that means, but it's something that I think would be a solid opportunity for Maxey to do. Look, we've been live for about an hour and a half now. We're going to shut things down. I can't thank everybody enough for hanging out with me today during this breaking news live stream, taking phone calls. We're going to talk about this again. So we'll live stream. We'll do the traditional podcast. We'll take some phone calls. This isn't going anywhere, but for the initial hour and a half, first instant reaction, I can't thank you guys enough for kicking it with me. You guys are the greatest, and we'll continue to keep this dialogue going moving forward. Thank you guys so much, and I'll talk to you.